Alright, we're back in the shop today. We're going to be finishing this knife. In case you missed part one, this is a little get-off-me tool that I made right here in my shop. It's 5160 steel, it's a 1/4 inch thick, it's pretty thick. That's just a small tool that you can carry with you all the time. Get somebody off of you. Put a deep hollow grind on there, serrations, has a ring, and used in a variety of grips. So today, we are going to be finishing the edge, actually getting it razor sharp. We're going to work on the finish on the steel, and we're going to make a sheath for it, and then we should be good to go. Let's get started. So we're going to be making this sheath out of Kydex. We're going to figure out some sort of carry system. Thinking probably a horizontal carry with a belt loop. If you don't know, this is Kydex, and it's a thermoplastic. It's extremely durable. This is what most tactical knife sheaths, gun holsters, that's what they're made out of. It's pretty, well, I say it's simple to work with, but it can be challenging as well. It's a type of thermoplastic, which means that it will mold and change shape when it's under heat. So you have to heat it to the right temperature, and then you can mold it to whatever you're molding it to. And then of course you can cut it and sand it and put it together. So first step is heating it. The challenge is to heat it to the correct temperature where it's moldable and pliable, and press it before it cools down, and not overheat it because it will deform. So we just need a rough approximation of the size, because after it's heated and formed, then we're going to trim the Kydex and we're going to sand the edges and everything. So I'm going to do a fold over style sheath, which means the knife's going to be in the corner, Kydex is going to be folded around it. It makes it a little more slim than if you do a two-piece sheath. So we'll just measure the rough width, and then you double that because you're going to have two sides, and you add a little extra because there's going to be a fold as well, which is going to take up some space. So it doesn't have to be precise. So the widest portion is 2 inches. We're going to double that 4 inches, and then add an extra inch for the fold and for the hardware. So the piece of Kydex that we're starting with is going to be roughly 5 inches wide, and we want to give it at least 5.5 inches for the length. Alright, so I've got that marked out, that square there. I'm going to use a pair of aluminum shears, just 10 shears, just to cut this out. Once again, it doesn't have to be precise. I'm a big fan of simplicity. So for my Kydex press, I've got a pretty simple setup. This is a thermofoam, which means it will not deform under heat. Nice and squishy. I'm going to place the knife between these two layers of foam. Put this board on top, get the weight on the back, and then use this to clamp it down. That's going to cause that foam to press around the Kydex and mold to the shape. You can buy Kydex presses, you can make a Kydex press, but this is simple, and simple is normally best. The majority of the work is going to be done once again by this small air fryer that I bought at a discount store. We're going to use this to heat the Kydex to 250 degrees for an extended period of time. Once it becomes moldable and pliable, then we'll use a foam press to press the Kydex to the shape. The important thing to note is that I use this silicone pot holder in the bottom of the air fryer so that the Kydex is not making direct contact with the metal, because that will cause it to overheat in certain spots and it will destroy the Kydex. So we're going to use that as a buffer between the hot metal and the Kydex. So we're going to go into the oven with this piece of Kydex for 20 minutes at 250, and then we'll check the pliability. We're going to make sure that you heat the Kydex slowly. You don't want to heat it too fast. If you just crank it up to 400 degrees and start heating it, it's going to cause it to form. It's not going to heat evenly. So to get the best press on it and make sure it takes a good mold of the shape, you're going to heat it nice and slow. So we'll start with 250 for 20 minutes, and then we'll see where we're at. So due to technical difficulty, I didn't get a chance to film it, but I did press a little sheath for this guy and already cut it out. It still needs to be adjusted with the heat gun. But I'm going to show you how I did that. This is another one of my knives. This is like the prototype model. This is the one that I keep. I've made these for customers before, but I made sheaths for them. But this is mine, so I never actually made a sheath for my own. So I'm going to make a sheath for this one, just so you can see how that works. Don't try this at home because this is hot. I don't really feel it too much when I'm home anymore. Or gloves. I'm just going to hold this nice and tight for a second, and we should be good to let it go. We don't need a ton of pressure, we just need enough where that foam is compressing, and it is compressing here. Left it pressed for about 5 minutes, and as you can see, it took the shape of that knife, so it's obviously not going to fall out. Once you have the initial press, then you cut out some of this excess material, leave enough just for the holes to the fasteners and to hold the two pieces together. And then you can use a heat gun to adjust the tension. If you heat it up very slowly, it will release a little bit of the tension, or you can remold if you need to. But you have to be careful, because if you overheat it, you'll lose your press. You want it to have this nice snap when it goes in and out. You don't want it to be too tight. It's where it's going to be difficult for you to pull it out. Back to our project here. So I have this pressed, and I have the shape cut out, but I need to use a heat gun to adjust the tension, because as you can see, it rattles around a little bit. It's secure, but it's rattling around a little bit. So I'm going to heat this up slowly and press on some different areas here to try to tighten up that fit, but still be able to pull it out. It's also a little tight there at the top. As you can see, it's kind of difficult to pull out. Just testing the temperature here with my hand. Once again, don't do this at home.
I don't know if I can find my way out.
Start to open up there. So that's when we know it's hot enough.
I'm stuck in a prison of doubt. In this torsion, and everything is growing up tight.
I'm extremely particular about sheaths because I have a lot of knives that I don't carry just because they don't have a good sheath. And if you're not able to pull the knife out, use it when you need to put it back up, or not able to carry it comfortably, then you're not going to carry the knife. So I'm very particular about how they fit and how they're carried and how they're used. Keep in mind, once we secure the side, it will be tight. That's why I'm holding that side, because you have to test to see why you're holding this side, if it's still going to work properly, which that feels pretty good. There's no rattle. You can always make another adjustment later if I need to. So this is, we're going to use this belt loop right here. This is going to go just like this. That way this can wrap under and snap, and then this will be carried against the belt for quick retrieval. So all I need to do is drill one hole to put this button on here. That should be 1/8 inch hole right there.
Reaching out, I'm reaching. The water is rising over me. The water is rising. It's coming. I'm reaching out, I'm reaching. The water is rising over me. The water is rising. I'm reaching. It's coming. I'm reaching. Don't know if I can find my way out. I'm stuck in a prison of doubt. In this torsion. And everything is growing up.
Now we have our sheath all completed. It's time to get this thing finished. So the last step, and I would recommend, if you were to make knives, to save all of your finished work for the end. After you make the sheath first, because otherwise you'll scratch up your finish and everything during the process of making the sheath. Because there will be little burrs and everything on the inside of the Kydex. So finish the knife, or don't finish the knife first. Finish the sheath first, and then you can finish the knife. Anything that you don't want to get scratched up, the final polishing, the finishes, do it last. Learn that the hard way. So now we get the final edge on there, get it razor sharp, figure out what I'm gonna do with the finish. Make sure all the little hot spots and corners are rounded off, and then we'll test it. As I previously mentioned, I put this deep hollow grind on this knife. And on this side, I cut in serrations. So on this side, we have a curved edge coming in like this. This side is coming up like this. What I need to do now is take this to a larger wheel, because my edge is kind of like this right now. I need to straighten that out to where it's nice and sharp. So we'll take it to a larger wheel and take it to this hollow grind so that it will apex where these serrations are coming in from this side. So the edge will be like this, and then we'll have a hollow and then a flat. Should make it razor sharp.
Reaching out, I'm reaching. The water is rising over me. The water is rising. It's coming. I'm reaching out, I'm reaching. The water is rising over me. The water is rising. I'm reaching. It's coming. I'm reaching.
Alright, so now the edge bevel is lined up. So it's gonna give that acute edge. You should be able to sharpen it. We just need to do some hand sanding on this hollow grind. It's just to even out these grind lines. So what I've decided I'm gonna do for the finish is basically leave it raw like this steel. I think it looks pretty good. But I have a small wire wheel for the Dremel. I'm just going to go over everything and make sure that the finish is even. And I think I like the way it looks as that raw steel look. So after we get that done, all we have to do is final sharpening and then testing. I got it all cleaned up with that wire wheel. Just show you the finish here. So it just has that raw steel look to it, which I think it looks pretty cool. It's kind of industrial. You can see some of the marks and everything from where the steel was originally milled. All the corners have been rounded off, so it's nice and comfortable in hand. No hot spots. You can see the final geometry on that blade shape from the end there. You can see the deep hollow grind. And then now I have flattened off this edge here, so we can take that acute edge. And then of course the chisels on the other side, or the serrations on the other side. There'll be some more hand polishing at the very end, but I want to test this out to see how well it's going to cut. This should cut extremely well. I can just feel the edge and tell that this is extremely sharp. It is serrated. They are not very deep serrations. They're shallow serrations and they're wide, and because it's chisel ground and serrated, it's not going to be like the greatest knife at cutting paper, just because that geometry, paper tends to tear. Paper is not the best test medium for this kind of knife. This is made obviously as a get-off-me tool, a self-defense tool, so paper is not anything like organic material. It tears before it cuts. That's really thin knives with a thin geometry cut through paper really well. But that doesn't mean they're going to cut through other materials as well. So what we're going to use is, I have all these nitrile gloves from when I'm working with epoxy. And I've just stuffed them all inside this one glove. And this is like a stretchy material. So I'm just going to plunge it in and then cut out. Let's just do a swipe at it here. Try not to cut my hand. Make sure we frame here. be a little hard to... It's definitely cutting it apart. It's kind of hard to tell, you know, how much it's cutting, but it's just slicing right through. And it is actually cutting these gloves. It's not just busting them open. As you can see, I mean, there's half a glove right there. Push it through. Just slices right through that stretchy material. And this is actually difficult to cut for a traditional style blade with a straight edge. Here's a wooden dowel rod. Wow, look at that. Look how deep that cut. This is not hard wood or anything, but it's a really short blade, so it doesn't have very much room to cut. Yeah, it's just... It's basically splitting that in half. Looks like my mic died, so hopefully this is still recording. But this is several of those nitrile gloves wrapped around a wooden dowel rod. As you can see, sails through those, cuts halfway through the dowel rod as well. Sorry about the bad lighting. I'm sure the sound is worse too. I had to switch the front-facing camera and stick this to something because, like I said, the tripod's dead, the microphone's dead, everything's dead. Doesn't last long enough. I want to show you what this flail strike, this little flick, this serrated hollow grind blade, I want to show you what that can do to, I just use a cardboard box or something just so you can see what that can do. As you can see, that right through. That hit with the base. It's really hard for me to do while I'm holding it. There you go. It's cut right there. Just sails right through. Here's a piece of stretchy drawer liner material. It's like silicone-esque. So we got a dowel rod, which should be like bone, and then we have this really stretchy rubbery material. Let's do a cut test first. Let's do it like this. cutting through. So I cut through almost all these layers, and this stuff is stretchy. I'll cut all the way through to dowel rod. There's probably one, two, there's about 8 layers here of material. There we go. 2 right there. There's 1, 2. These are the cuts here. You can kind of see the layout as I unroll this. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 layers of this really stretchy material, and that's from that flick cut. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you check out the previous, if you haven't seen it already, check the previous video in my profile. It says part 1 on it. Really enjoyed making this knife. I think it's a good creative expression. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It's just something that is fun to use. It's like fun to carry. It's obviously really fun to fidget with. And it's something that you can wear and not even think about it. You know, it just stays on you. You don't have to think about it. And if you did need it, it's very quick to pull that out. Do what you need to do to defend yourself. These will be going on my website. That's such a cool profile because the waves. This will be going on my website. I'm gonna make more of these, sell them. I'm also thinking about making like a larger version of the same knife, just with a longer blade and a longer handle. Because this one, ideally, you hold with 3 fingers. I'm thinking about making a 4-finger version, which would just have the space for, you can force 4 fingers, but space for 1 more finger between here and here. So it'd probably be just 3/4 of an inch longer. And the blade I would make probably 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch longer as well. So it'd be about 1.5 inches longer than this one. I may actually make this a little larger as well. Just be a full-size version. So I have a mini version and a full-size version. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe. You can check my Instagram, which is Tactical Practical Defense. Tactical Practical Defense. I post a lot of content on there, a lot of photos of the knives I'm making, shorter videos. You can check out TikTok too. I just started making TikTok videos. It's Tactical Practical Defense as well. Or you can go to my website and see all the knives I've made. Well, not all the knives. You can go to my website, tacticalpracticaldefense.com, and you can buy a knife. These will be going up this weekend. These will be going up soon. Just need to take some pictures, put some stats in and load them up. If you want to pre-order one of these before they're even for sale, go to the website, tacticalpracticaldefense.com. Go to the custom request, and all you have to do is put in, I want, what are we going to call this? Go to tacticalpracticaldefense.com, go to the custom request, put in the custom request, fill out your information, put in, I want the Growler. That's what I'm going to call this knife, it's the Growler. You'll be first in line when I start making them, before it even goes up on the website. It'll be like a pre-order. And since you came from YouTube, you're seeing this video and you put in the custom request, I want the Growler, you can get this 100% USA, handmade, 5160 steel, heat treated by myself for $90. 90 bucks with a custom Kydex sheet. TacticalPracticalDefense.com.